Welcome to our channel where we bring you the latest Formula One news. Today, we're talking about Max's response to Toto Wolff and the calculations that could lead Red Bull to victory in the Constructors' Championship this weekend. So, we invite you to watch until the end and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Max Verstappen also heard Toto Wolff's comments about his winning streak. After Red Bull's driver secured his 10th consecutive victory at the Italian Formula One Grand Prix, the Mercedes team boss said, "That's a number for Wikipedia, and nobody reads that anyway." In Singapore, Verstappen responded to these words. Verstappen isn't too concerned about Wolff's statements. "Well, I'm not disappointed by that. They had a pretty bad race, so he was probably still upset about their performance. Sometimes, he almost seems like an employee of our team. But no, fortunately, he's not." In fact, the Dutch driver praised Mercedes for their dominant period. "I think it's important that you focus on your own team. That's what we do too. That's what we did in the past when we were behind them and when they were dominating. I think you should be able to appreciate when a team is doing very well, which I think we did in the past because it also worked as a kind of inspiration. Seeing someone so dominant was very impressive at the time. And we knew we had to work harder, try to be better, and try to reach that level. And now that we're there, we're very happy, of course, and we're enjoying the moment. And honestly, that's all I can say about it." Verstappen could secure his 11th consecutive victory in Singapore, further extending his own record. Meanwhile, Mercedes, with Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, is still waiting for their first win of the season. Formula One fans, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, it's very important to us. Thank you. Now, Red Bull can celebrate a 6th consecutive win in the Singapore Grand Prix. Let's go through the calculations. With an average of 42 points per weekend, Red Bull is well on its way to securing a 6th Constructors' Championship in Formula One. Completely dominant in the 2023 Formula One season, Red Bull enters the Singapore Grand Prix next weekend with their first match point of the season. Having won all 14 races in the category this year, the Austrian team only sees Mercedes, Ferrari, and Aston Martin as mathematically possible contenders and could clinch the title in Marina Bay, a scenario that, given the championship circumstances, is not entirely impossible. To make it simple to understand, we'll consider two distinct scenarios. In the first, Mercedes, the closest pursuer to Red Bull, scores 0 points in the Singapore Grand Prix. In the second, the German team manages to finish in the top 10 with at least one of their drivers. It's worth noting that, by the end of the year, Formula One still has 397 points up for grabs in the Constructors' Championship. If Mercedes fails to score a single point in Marina Bay, a 1-2 finish for Red Bull would be enough to secure the title. Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez would accumulate 43 points, bringing the team's total to 626, not counting the extra point for the fastest lap. In this scenario, Mercedes would still have 7 races left to chase the Bulls: Japan, Qatar, USA, Mexico City, Brazil, Las Vegas, and Abu Dhabi. However, even if they achieved 1-2 finishes in all main races and sprints until the end of the season, along with all the points for fastest laps, the German team could only reach 626 points, exactly the same as Red Bull. As the current champions would have more wins, the title would go to Christian Horner's team based on the tiebreaker criteria. It's worth noting that for this equality to occur by the end of the year, Red Bull would have to score 0 points in all 7 final races of the championship. That's absolutely unthinkable. If Lewis Hamilton and George Russell's team manages to finish the Marina Bay stage with at least one car in the top 10, only one scenario guarantees the title for Red Bull: a 1-2 finish for Verstappen and Perez, with one of them also achieving the fastest lap, while the Silver Arrows earn only 1 point. In this way, Red Bull would reach 627 points, while Mercedes would have 274. In the remaining 7 stages, the German team could, at best, tie with their rivals, and once again, they would lose the title due to fewer wins. So, if Toto Wolff's team wants to postpone the Bulls' celebration at least until Japan, they need to score at least 2 points in the Singapore Grand Prix this weekend. Finally, Ferrari and Aston Martin also have mathematical possibilities of winning the title in 2023. However, since Red Bull needs a 1-2 finish to eliminate Mercedes from contention, this outcome would also exclude the 2 other competitors.